case in point, when Black Panther was first released, I went to a Strongsville mall for a photo shoot, and was just taking pictures for the people that were coming in to see the film. It was, I think, a Thursday. It was a Thursday. People were coming in to see the film. Some people were coming out of just seeing another viewing, and there were a group of kids. They couldn't have been no older than 10 at best, and probably the youngest was 5. And the first thing they're running up, he was like, "Is Killmonger really dead?" And he's like, "I seen you," and it was just an amazing feeling. Couldn't see nothing because I wear glasses, so I had my mask on the whole time, and I'm just doing the Wakanda Forever salute and everything else. And I totally had a totally different look from what the movie had. I had a whole kind of armored look, and they still knew who it was.
Oh yeah,
they still recognized who I was. And
was yours more comic based or something, or?
Yeah, it was more based off a vibranium armor that he wore.
Oh, okay.
And in the comics, I even had a Nerf sword that I repainted black, like an ebony blade. It was a black blade with a gold handle, so I even had that on my shoulder, and they were just like,
they knew,
in awe.
Yeah,
they just knew. And so it's a really a great feeling, to dress as anybody, and I implore people who are just getting into cosplay, just starting out, maybe even afraid to do it, just do it, and as we say, to hell with the naysayers, just have fun with it.
Yeah, I only did it once. I have to admit, I did it with my wife. We were going, and I'm just all like, I'm fat and I'm bearded. I mean, what am I going to go as? The only thing I could come up with was, I'm sure you've seen this movie, was Lord Yappa from the Nausicaa movie. I'm just all, okay, so I'm gonna, go as this. And then so Terry's just all, okay, well, she's gonna cosplay as the little girl from Animal Crossing. So she ends up making me a full Tom Nook outfit. And so I have to go as Tom Nook, which is all fine for the first 3 or 4 city blocks. But when we had to walk 3 more city blocks to get to the Starbucks, and I'm dressed like Tom Nook in a Starbucks with a bunch of business people, I'm all, oh God.
There are times where I've had to go someplace, and obviously I can't drive the car in certain stuff.
Yeah.
But I won't completely strip down, and then I get out and like I still have my martial arts judo pants on, because it poses as part of my costume, so it has a different look, and I still have the belt on that has the African beads, or I might have my Nick Fury patch like right above my head, like, and I still have the gear on except for the coat. And sometimes I was just like, I just need to run in here and grab me a couple bottles of water,
right, yeah.
So, and I just kind of like, just disregard everything that's around me. I get stopped. I'm like, hey, are you at the? Yeah, I'm at the con. That's You must be Nick Fury, or you must be Black Panther, or you must be.
Well, that's good. At least they know who you are.
Yeah.
I have a feeling as Lord Yappa, they would have been all like, I don't know this guy. So what was your gateway drug to nerddom, to this stuff? Ooh. There must have been something as a kid that, I had a couple, Doctor Who was one of them. I played a lot of D&D. What was your gateway?
My gateway was literally Zorro.
Really?
Seeing old Zorro serials.
You're like Batman. That was his gateway.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing Zorro, and then getting introduced to Superman shortly after that, and Batman shortly after that. And then by the time I was 11, it was Black Panther. So it had always been there in some form. Even Smokey and the Bandit, who I viewed as a form of hero, he's going against the law that was crooked, like,
yeah, that's true. Actually, now that I think about it, I did too.
He's just like, he's just trying to help these people out, and you're chasing him down. So I would always, it was just always instilled in me. It was just kind of a thing. And it turned out like my uncle, who was really big into it, and they just, by the time they figured it out, it was like, oh, we should have just kept all those comics that your uncle had or fought harder for. And I'm like, wait, he had comics? So but yeah, it's always been like instilled in me. And I think the biggest influence was probably Superman. It was
The Christopher Reeve Superman.
Christopher Reeve Superman was probably the biggest influence for me. And just seeing someone stand up for whoever and take down a bad guy and do it in such a sense that despite all his power, he's still, man, he was like, I can stop you, but I'm still going to allow the law to handle their job.
Right. Gonna be the good guy no matter what.
The big blue Boy Scout, as Bruce Wayne calls him.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, that's true.
You know, and just watching, you know, and as time went on, Black Panther and Captain America Black Panther really spoke to me, and Captain America really spoke to me because I felt like here was a guy who did not care what you look like, who you were or are. All he knows is what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. He didn't care if it was the bank robbers or the government. He just stood up for the people who he knew were being bullied.
Yeah.
And that really spoke. It still does to this very day, actually. You know, that the ideal of what he stands for is a very strong ideal.
Yeah, you know, I was mashing through an editorial for the magazine that I was telling you about earlier today, and in the editorial I was basically saying, you know, it's like I don't want to advertise myself as a post-boomer attitude, but I remember at least growing up in a country where we pretended that it was very important to stand up for the little guy, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what it makes me think of what's the line in where they referred to somebody as being a god in the movies, and Captain America is just all, oh, there's only one god, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that, man. You know? Right. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
You know, I felt that they nailed that pretty well. So I was never a huge comic fan. I did a lot of X-Men as a kid. I didn't follow a lot of the other stuff until later. Now I'm like obsessed with lore in general. Like what's that guy? Comics Explained, that channel on YouTube.
Yes,
I'll like go to sleep like listening to 5 hours of the backstory of the Green Lantern. So now I'm like totally obsessed with this stuff. You know, how do you feel that the MCU portrayed the comics that you loved?
I think they are doing a great job. Honestly, they are. I never thought I would be in a day and age where they would portray something so fluidly, and the way they're keeping everything connected is chef's kiss. And they are really doing a great job. Like people literally look at Chris Evans now as, dude, you're Captain America. Like, we watch you on Twitter and like the stuff you doing, and like you really are that guy, you know. And even some of their changes that they've made to some of their characters even make sense. You know, I've often said that in comics, Hank Pym was this all around genius. You know, him, Tony Stark, T'Challa, they're these Reed Richards, they're these all around geniuses. And he's also the creator of Ultron. But then as they transfer over to the films, it just made sense that you make Tony Stark the creator of Ultron, because who else would know AI and robotics better than the guy who makes Iron Man?
Yeah, it did seem like a better fit. I knew this too, and I kind of felt like Tony Stark was a better fit to be the creator of Ultron. Yeah,
and it just made, I'm like, see, they're making sense of, it's not so much retconning, they're just making sense of it, because, you know, you read these things as a kid, and a lot of stuff you really don't question. You're just in awe of the action, and sometimes, and most of the time, the storyline. You really don't think about the back stuff.
As you saw in today's story, people can change.
Right, Tila. Sibylline had always been an evil sorceress, but she was able to change her ways for the better. Maybe there's something about yourself that you don't like. A bad habit, maybe.
It's easy to say I can't change, but the truth is, you can change almost any behavior if you really want to.
And the first step is saying to yourself, I can.